And then, another question that people ask is, why is happiness so difficult to achieve? Why is it so elusive? And I think there's good reasons for that too. And these insights, again, come from thinking about it evolutionarily. I mean, for one thing, happiness is we have the hedonic treadmill, for example. I'm sure you're familiar with this. This is the notion that we accomplish something and then we feel happy and proud for a short period of time, but then the pride quickly dissipates, the happiness melts away, and we revert to our emotional baseline. And it sucks. And we often feel angry or frustrated with ourselves about that. But the answer is that if you think about our ancestors and you imagine some of them achieved something and then they rested on their laurels forever, versus others achieved something and they felt good for a brief period, but they soon began craving their next goal and their next accomplishment. And you ask, who would have outcompeted whom? The answer is very obvious, right? So the reason our brains are subject to the hedonic treadmill is, again, it's not a pathology, it's not a mistake. They're like that for a reason. And so that helps explain one element of why happiness is so elusive, especially like long-lasting happiness. And by the way, I think it takes some of the sting out of the hedonic treadmill. It helps me to know that this is not a pathology, that my brain is like this for a reason, that the surface apparent irrationality is undergirded by a deeper adaptive logic. But there's other reasons that happiness is elusive too. There's unavoidable competition between people for status or for jobs or for mates or for food or whatever. And as long as different people have different goals and don't have perfectly overlapping fitness interests, well, there's going to be some competition between people. And as long as there's some competition, there's going to be some unhappiness because other people maybe are besting us, or we're not able to get our goals because there are obstacles in our way. As we talked about before, the overexpression of negative emotions like anxiety is another reason why it's difficult to achieve lasting happiness. And as we also talked about, evolutionary mismatch is a factor there. And then there are other things as well. Recall that we said that emotions to begin with, they don't evolve for our happiness, they evolve for our survival and reproduction. So we shouldn't be all that surprised when they don't feel good, but they work to help us solve our goals.